Vauxhall, Buxoro. We are about to take the overnight sleeper coupe train back to Toshkent. This will be the old Soviet-made trains from the Soviet era. It'll be an 8-hour journey back to Toshkent overnight, arrival 5:45 a.m. at Buxoro Vauxhall or railway station, the Russian word for train station here. We are taking the overnight sleeper coupe train to Toshkent, arriving at 5:45 a.m. the next day. So that'll be an experience. And these trains are not the bullet trains, but these are the Soviet era, the Soviet Union era designed trains. And so that's what we plan to do. Vauxhall, Buxoro. Here's our train coming now. The 2110 overnight train to Toshkent. I'm trying to find out what exactly is the technical name for this particular train. The Soviet era locomotives and carriages. It'll be quite interesting to know. Well built and a bit like the Lada Soviet car, I suppose. And here it comes, trundling around, very, very slow. There it is. I hope this is the train we are getting, or is this oh yeah, this is the train we are getting, yeah. And I think we are coach 8. So we'll try to find out where we are. There you are, we'll let you know. There we are inside and trying to find our coach. These are coupes like this and seem to be comfortable and we'll try to find where we fit in here. A lovely Central Asian standard 2-person reserved coupe. Right, this is it. Lovely, clean, comfortable bed, just for 2 people, and mirrors on either side. There's even a television up there. Oh, it's fine. Look, there's a table, there's a heater down there, and I don't know what that is. I think that could be light. And yep, it's nice and comfy, completely exclusive, just for 2 people in here. Wow, this is good. It's a good night's sleep, and we'll be there around 5:45 a.m. The Almighty willing. Yes, nicely paneled. I don't think we'll be watching. This is what we have. Nice and comfy. And we've sussed out the lights now. There's mirrors on all sides. Yeah, this is good actually. And you can see the good strong wagons moving. I think they're just still on the platform, but I think they're going to adjust things. And wow, love it. We've sussed out the lights now, so this is good. So off we go and have a good night's sleep. The pillows look quite comfy. This is good. Very general corridor of the train on one side, And there's a bistro as well on board. There are toilets and all that. So yeah, this is where we are. Very good. Door locks up from the inside, very sturdy. And when the door closes, there is a mirror there. So that's a good touch. They've got a mirror. Nicely done. So the door acts like a mirror and you've got a very, very good privacy lock here. Russian style. I like that touch. Brilliant.
Oh, hey, okay. That looks like a reading light. Okay. Reading light it is. So we close everything up and have a good read. I love that. Good touch. A good Soviet touch. Yeah, I think there's a bulkhead up there as well. Pure Soviet era. CCCP. Soviet era USSR. Supplied crispy white linen, all starched, nicely starched, and looks nice and comfy. I think the only time that disturb us will be breakfast maybe. It's a 5:45 arrival, so they'll have to be very early, but rather not be disturbed. It looks very comfy.
So next day morning, as scheduled 5:45 a.m. There is nice and crisp and cold but dry cold. Not the moisture-filled biting cold of London. This cold is nice and dry. And we are back in Toshkent. Very comfortable nights. Sleep. Thank you, Uzbekistan Railways. Very, very good service. So we are back in Toshkent. And Toshkent Janubi. Toshkent Janubi, meaning Toshkent North and Uzbek. Janubi. Thank you. Here we are. They spell Uzbekistan with O as well. And Tamir Yollari. Wonder what that means. But it's a lot of common expressions between Hindustani, Urdu and Uzbek language. I had expressions like Tamir, Apa, and all sorts of expressions that one would say where the source of certain words in the Urdu language which originated from this region as well. So we are here now, outside and back to the hotel. How are you? You're very nice. And thank you for all your help. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys. These are all ex-Soviet. They speak Russian as well as Uzbek. And in 1991, when the Soviet Union broke up, all of the Soviet republics got their independence, including Russia itself, which became a Russian Federation. And Uzbekistan was one of the Soviet republics that became independent of the Soviet Union. But there's a very strong influence, even today, of the Russian language and systems. And the train was a symbol of Soviet design and engineering, which the Uzbekistanis were part of. And And of course, Kazakhstan had a lot of involvement with the space program. I believe the Baikonur Air Space Center or the base. I think some astronauts were launched from neighboring Kazakhstan, and Yuri Gagarin might have been launched from there, the first man in space. And Toshkent is their capital, and Uzbekistan is a landlocked country. In fact, Uzbekistan is a double landlocked country, with even its surrounding neighbors being landlocked. And these, I think there are only two countries in the world that are double landlocked, and one of them is Uzbekistan. Now we've got a taxi from an app called Yandex or Yango. It is like a Russian app, Yandex, and they do like Uber. They do deliveries, eats, taxis, and all that. So we are on our way now via Yandex, and we could order the taxi. So easy, so good. And the other word that they use here is Sheher. It's called Toshkent Sheher. There are signs saying Toshkent Sheher on their municipal vehicles and buildings. Toshkent Sheher. Sheher is another word that's common here. And some local music. Soviet era buildings here, especially housing and all that, but then there's an infill of new development now. And Yandex is one of the most popular apps, which is a Russian based app, and the other app here is called My Taxi, and the taxis are amazingly cheap. I mean, you're looking at rides for very, very little money, and they're quite efficient. But they're private taxi operators as well. Sometimes bother you and ask to give them the business. But Yandex and My Taxi are the two good apps here that really make it do good for you in terms of transport. Apart from an excellent metro service, which we'll come to later on. And I asked this guy to play the music louder as a background to this video to give a taste of the local Uzbek music, but he normally doesn't. I don't think they play this music that loud in a taxi. He had it very, very low just for himself, but I asked him to give us a taste of it, so we just so it was me asking him to do it. So there you go, some music in the background. It's a very traditional Uzbek taxi. Buses, bus stands, breakfast being made, somsas, all that, and it was a good night's sleep. And that was quite a good journey we had from way out in Buxoro, way out west of Uzbekistan, and now we are back in the capital, Toshkent. 6:30 a.m. back at the hotel Mirzo. hotel, they call themselves. Like Mirza is quite a common name here. Even the Mughals, they say Babur Mirza, Humayun Mirza. So Mirzo, here we are, 6:30 a.m. The weather is nice and fresh and it's dry cold. It's lovely. Breakfast starts at 7 o'clock. And now we are walking back to our hotel room after a lovely trip to Buxoro. And this is the Yerta, or the Yer. They're nomadic style tents really. They go back to the Mongol era. So the Mongols, the nomads in Mongol, Ulaanbaatar, even today, some of them use this Yer. It's called Yer or Yerta. That's what they're called.